it's curry patta.
Nice, bro. Correct. Hello everyone, my name is Isha and wishing you a very good morning. Today we are here at MES situated at Malleshwaram, Bengaluru. I would like to welcome you all to our series of episodes starting off with the first episode, Know Your Plants. So have you ever wondered while walking around your campus as you pass by a plant, which plant could this be and what are its medicinal properties? What is its scientific name? Well, whether you have wondered that or not, today, for MES sites, all these questions shall be answered as our lovely teacher from Botany Department, Asmita Behra ma'am, shall tell us all this as we take her around the campus for a tour. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Lisa.
So, let's start off with our first plant. Can you tell us which plant this is, ma'am?
This is commonly called as periwinkle. Sadabahar also it is called as. And scientifically its name is Vinca rosea
Okay.
or Catranthus roseus. Now this plant many of you have seen in white color, pink color,
Yes.
purple also, and roadsides. It does not require much attention. With less water it can grow. But the importance of this plant nobody would have realized also. It has very anti-cancerous properties. It has lot of alkaloids which are used for cancer treatment. But we should be very careful. Generally, children try to take the flower and try to put into the mouth. It is very poisonous. Any part of it, if it is ingested, it is highly poisonous.
Okay, so as you guys would have seen this plant, I never knew that it was poisonous. Even I used to pluck it as a child and even maybe try to eat it. So now you know, whenever you see this plant, try to not have kids ingest it. Moving on to the next plant, ma'am. Could you tell us this plant is?
Yeah. So this is called as Rio. You can see brightly purple colored on the below side, and you can see here white colored flowers. Generally, this plant is propagated or used for indoor decorative purpose or in the garden decorative purpose. But many will not realize also its economic importance and medicinal properties. It has very high anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and anti-cancerous properties also in this plant.
How is it anti-cancerous, ma'am? How can it help combat cancer?
See, there are so many alkaloids which are not generally used by the plant itself. They are the secondary products. So those can be isolated. See, just like that, we cannot use it, but it has the properties. The phytochemical analysis shows that it has the anti-cancerous, antibacterial properties. And this also does not need much maintenance. With less water, this also can be.
So you could say it is used for chemotherapy and
Yes.
moving on to the next plant, ma'am. Could you tell these creeper kind of plants, which are those plants, ma'am?
Yes. So this is called as bougainvillea, or commonly it is called as paper flower plant. When you visit from Bangalore to Mysore on the divider places, you will find lot of variations here. This is not just for decorative or showy purpose. This can be used, the colorful wraps what you are seeing, that is not the flower actually. These are the wraps of the flower. Okay. And it can be used as decoction or in tea to maintain high BP, diabetics, and also it has anti-inflammatory properties. And it is a climber kind of. It has thorns. That is self-defense mechanism to protect itself from the grazing by the animals. Yeah, so it's also one important plant. There's different colors: white, purple, light pink. So many colors you find it.
Yes, ma'am. And we see that it's all scattered on roads sometimes.
Yes.
Also, does it have a fragrance?
No fragrance.
No fragrance at all. Yes, just used for tea.
Yeah, tea and decoction can be made out of the colored bracts. The bracts can be used, and to maintain high BP generally it is used.
We can see that there is a type of white color flowers.
That is the flower actually. The actual flower is that, and it is surrounded by colored bracts. That is nothing but for pollination purpose. So that it attracts the insects and pollinators for that purpose.
Moving on to the next plant now. Could you tell us this?
So this is newly introduced to the campus actually. Oh, just that if you come towards evening, you can smell it. It has lot of aroma like fragrance is there. It's called as Madhukamini. It flowers throughout. Now also you can have that. Yes, now that's aroma, right? That's my Yes, yes. So it is Madhukamini and it flowers throughout the year. And because of the bright color and the aroma, insects, ants come as a pollinator. Importance of pollinator is not unknown. We get the honey, and from one plant to another plant, when they visit, they can take the pollens and they can dust on the stigma so that the plant propagation can happen, the seed formation can happen. It's beautiful. You can see there also so much flowering has come in.
Ma'am, do you know why it is called as the Kamini plant?
Because of the evening flowering and the aroma generally is more during the evening time.
Okay.
So it is called as
Kamini. That's such a lovely name also,
Yeah.
ma'am.
and it has also medicinal properties. All plants almost have medicinal properties, just that it is not been explored. The traditional medicine ways also this has been in use practice. It has anti-inflammatory properties. Then skin treatment, in itching, such cases, these plants can be used.
Ma'am, do you think any of these plants that you talked about are used in Ayurveda?
Yes, very much. Very much it is used practice. In the cities, generally people don't use plants as such, but when we go to our village areas, we will know lot of plants are directly consumed for different properties. Skin treatments, definitely they don't use any kind of treatments. They just crush the leaves and can be applied.
Yes. So we have come near another plant, and it is this plant.
Commonly, these plants are called as ferns. The peculiarity of this is it does not flower. It is flowerless plants. And how they can propagate? They can propagate through spores. This plant does not have spores, but here you will find the spores generally in the reproductive phase. And importance of this plant, if you go towards hilly areas, you will find ample amount of these ferns. And they are ecologically very, very important for soil retention, moisture retention. And apart from that, they can be used for medicinal purpose. Still has to be explored the medicinal properties. But commonly, it has many varieties actually. Many types, many names are there. We commonly call it as Candophytes, plant roots, Candophytes. Again, these are also used for skin treatment, itching, burns. Yes, they can be
During summer season now.
Yes.
Ma'am, also we see it's kind of like a decorative purpose.
Yes. Indoor decorative purpose also this can be used, and this also requires very, very minimal maintenance with less water because it itself can retain the moisture content. So it requires less water.
Thank you, ma'am. Right now we are in the botanist terrace garden where we can see bunch of flowers and plants over here. Now that we know some of the common plants we can see around the campus, let's see a little bit of extra plants and gain some extra knowledge on some other interesting plants as well. So, ma'am?
Okay. So this is called as Dracena. You must have heard about monocot dicot. So dicots will have two cotyledons. So this is one monocot plant. It will not increase the thickness due to the internal cambium activity. Just because of the primary growth only, the thickness has been attained by the plant. This Dracena also has medicinal properties of antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. Okay, so this is one good example of monocot plant. So here you can see asparagus. This is again a plant which requires less water and less maintenance. Here you can see the roots, cluster of roots modified. So this and this have very, very antifungal, antimicrobial activity. This you must have seen, Leucas aspera. This is in practice in some states they use for puja also, some festival. You can see here small flowers. White color, purple color flowers are also there. This is mostly for same antimicrobial and antifungal properties. This has been studied extensively actually for the phytochemical aspect. And this is commonly used in the village for skin treatment also. Any kind of wound, any kind of itching and allergy condition, this can be used. So here one plant you can see Tridax. Near the roadside, railway tracks,
kind of
very barren lands also you can see. The importance is enormous in this plant actually.
Okay, we have a zoom in on that plant. These kind of look like daisies, no ma'am? These
Yes,
flowers.
it's not a single flower actually. Here two types of flowers are there. This one generally looks like a petal. It's a single flower. Now here one small yellow color what we are seeing, they are individually when you pick it, they are single flowers.
Oh,
So it is
okay.
called as a called as an inflorescence. So it is a cluster of flowers and two different types of flowers. This is female flower and the inner one yellow color what you are seeing bisexual flowers. Two different flowers forming the head of capitulum it is called that. Same one when it ripes becomes completely mature it becomes like this.
Oh, okay. They kind of look like that Mataritsa case, ma'am. You know, it flies away.
Oh yes, they will fly actually. They are the seeds. They have feathery like structures so that it allows it to fly in wind and it can disseminate into different localities. Different distance it can travel.
So, is this plant very regional to this place, ma'am? Can we see a lot of these types?
Yeah, it is very much found in Karnataka.
So, even this plant has medicinal properties.
Yes, very much, very much. This is called as hemidia. You can see the flower arrangement is so beautiful. It is not flowered. One side only the flowers will form. You can see here the oldest one here. The youngest ones will be below this on either side in zigzag manner. So that is the beauty of this. Here you can see one gymnosperm plant. It is called as cycas. They are naked seed-bearing plants.
Okay.
Seeds will be naked. No protective covering, just like mangoes, other things. They are protected. The seed will be inside.
Inside the pulse.
Yes. And you can see here, there are two types of leaves. You can see here, one brown color leaves. Can you see here?
Yes, ma'am.
They are the scale leaves. They are just protective in nature. And how they grow is alternately. One whole of this foliage leaf alternate with the scale leaves. That's how it grows. And this is mostly a male one.
Which is that one, ma'am?
Cactus. So if you have visited Lal Bagh, different floral type of cactus nowadays it has come into the commercial scale actually. This looks very beautiful, just like a flower, but it is a cactus, like xerophyte. It can be grown in desert condition, and you can see it is very thick, fleshy. Here you can see spiny structures. Those are the modified margin, so that evaporation of the water can be minimized.
Ma'am, what happens if you water a cactus plant?
Regularly. Generally, why we water? For the profuse growth.
Yes, ma'am.
As it is not required much, it may start getting decayed from the below part.
Okay.
All the water gets accumulated. And transpiration is not occurring, absorption also will not occur. So the water gets retained within the soil and the roots starts getting degraded.
So it is advised to not water a cactus.
Yes.
Do you have any personal favorite plants here, ma'am, in this garden?
Personal, my favorite is same asparagus. Yeah, I'm planning to do some research in that also. So my favorite is that. Two lines, small, minute ones are there. Powdery things. Those are nothing but the spores. Here you can see. Can you see? Brown color lines. Those are the spores actually. And here, one more thing I wanted to show you. You can see here. So when it is young, all the leaves will be curled inward. That is called a circinate vernation. One of the property of this category of plant pteridophytes. When they are young, completely they will be curled inward, and slowly they start expanding like that.
It also has few, like when it's very young, spine like.
Hairs. So trichomes they are called as.
Thank you so much. And just like that, our little campus expedition comes to an end. Today, we discovered that the plants that we pass by every single day are not just for background decoration, but they have their own stories, quirks, uses, and personalities. A huge thank you to our wonderful teacher Asmita ma'am for guiding us through this leafy adventure and helping us see the campus through a completely greener tour. For the viewers watching, I'd like to tell you that I am standing next to the flower I like the most from the whole garden. It's called water hyacinth. And as you can see, it's an aquatic plant. There's a lot of water down there. It is native to South America. And we'll also have clips of various other plants from the garden and from our campus. And I want you to comment down below which plant you like the most. And a little homework for you guys. I want you to discover the name of the plant which caught your eye or you like the most. Or you maybe already know. So, see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm Purnima here. So, Isha gave me a task. She told me to say which is my favorite plant. I don't know the name, but this is my favorite. This is camera woman Purnima signing off.
Bye-bye.